Hey, hey, what's up? What's up? Happy Friday. What is going on, everybody? It's Kerry here. If you don't know me, I'm the founder of Shirt School, and welcome to Shirt School Live. This is the live show. We're live every week, and we review your stores. We give honest feedback, some advice. We're trying to help each other out, just help you guys out, help you grow. So, hello, welcome today. I hope that the weather is great where you're at. I hope that your family is healthy. I hope that you're doing well and having a great week. Wrapping up this great week, going into Halloween on Sunday. If you got kids, man, Halloween, woo, I'm excited. My son Calvin went to school today as the Mandalorian. He even had a little baby Yoda, the child, on his shoulder, which was pretty cool. So say what's up in the comments. We were not here last week, so we are back. And I want to say hi to some people. Lucinator, what's up? Good to have you here. Happy Friday. Golden Solution, what's going on? Heath, what is up, yo? Bruh Cali Rob. What up, Carrie? What up, Bruh Cali Rob? Good to have you here. Joseph's here from Plano. Somebody said really bad echo. Sorry. Everything looks good on my side. You guys let me know if it is not as good. If anybody else is hearing like bad audio, I can see if I can figure that out. Brian says, good afternoon from rainy Missouri. Yeah, not as rainy here today. You must be getting what we got yesterday because it was crazy. After today, I'll have 5 days left at the full-time job, then shirts. Whoa, all right, we're moving there. Good. It's exciting. Echo, what is going on, my friend? Hey, Carrie, how you doing? I'm doing good, T-Bucket Tees. It's good to have you here. All right, everybody's saying the audio is good, so just wanted to make sure. All right, guys. Well, so we were out. Let's just to kick this off. We were out last week. No Shirt School Live last week because we had our 5-day Launch Your Brand Challenge, which was absolutely phenomenal. If you were there, you know we had a great time last week. We gave away tons of training, but we also gave away tons of giveaways. We had people win Shirt School access. We had people win AirPods and gift cards and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we had a really, really great week last week. And then at the end of the week, we got to welcome a ton of new people into the Shirt School family, a lot of people that I see here on this live stream. So if you're new to our world, welcome. We're glad you're here. And we go live pretty much every Friday, except for the weeks when I'm out of town or something like that. So, or have something else going on, like an event like last week. So we're here today, and I'm excited for all the new faces, new names, hanging out with us. And let's look at the schedule real quick, just to kind of let you guys know what's going on. Next Friday, we will have Shirt School Live, and then we'll be out for a week because I'll be at Disney World at a mastermind at Disney World. I know it's pretty crazy, but I'll be at Disney World for a mastermind on the 12th, so we will have a quick break there. But we will be here next week. We'll be here the 19th. Probably won't be here the 26th on Black Friday. Maybe you'll see. But just kind of keep your eyes on your email, and we'll always let you know there. So anyways, good to have you guys here. I see a few more people joining. Lawrence is here. What's up, Baltimore? Malisha, welcome. Checking in from Atlanta. Adesua, my good friend, says hi. What is up? Good afternoon from rainy Missouri. Some of the Facebook people, I can't see your name, so I apologize. I'm not calling you out by name, but can't see that name. So let's jump into the content today. We got some good stuff. I want to start off by, I just want to tell you a little bit, maybe a little bit of advice for training here. I've been doing one-on-ones this week with our accelerator students. Now, our accelerator students, this is our highest level program. It is there's personal coaching with me, like one-on-one, and then we also have group coaching with it. You know, we have a group of, we only have like 10 people in there, very small group, higher level. And I've been going through one-on-ones this week. It's our second round of one-on-ones for this 6-month period. And they've been really, really good so far. I always love doing those one-on-one calls. I don't get to do a lot of them, so it's really cool to be able to do one-on-one coaching with t-shirt and apparel sellers. John's there. I just got off with John. He says, Carrie's training rocks. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. We actually just got off the call here about 30 minutes ago or so with John. But one of the things that I just wanted to touch on really quickly, and might be kind of a theme of today, we'll kind of see how it goes, but one of the things I've been noticing throughout those one-on-one calls is kind of this consistent thing of just needing to get back to basics. I know that sounds silly, but what I have realized, which I know to be true across not just apparel brands or t-shirt brands, but I think across marketing, online business, I mean, this whole kind of world that we live in, even if you go to, something I've been getting into lately, cryptocurrency and investments in NFTs. I see this theme of we're trying so hard to have success, right? And no matter what it is, even if you're buying stocks or you're doing investing or you're trying to run your business, we're trying so hard to have success. We're trying so hard to do all these things. And what it does is a lot of times it complicates things because we're trying so hard and we're trying all of these different things and different strategies and tactics and all these different methods, and it kind of muddies the waters and creates confusion. And a lot of times, I think what we need to do to really start having success, sometimes we just need to go back to basics. I'm just thinking about the one-on-one calls I've been through, a lot of, strategies, let's say for Facebook ads. If you're out there and running Facebook ads and you're trying all of these different strategies, maybe you watch a YouTube video from some guru that has a strategy and you're like, oh man, he really knows what he's talking about. This looks like a good strategy. So you go try it. And then you watch another YouTube video and another guy says, we need to run this kind of ad. And then you come on my live stream and I say, hey, here's how you need to do your ads. And what that does is you're trying all these different things, but it just creates a lot of confusion, right? How do I actually do this? What is the actual right way? And so what I'm noticing this week is I'm like, man, we just need to get back to the basics. All these strategies, all these tactics are great to test out and try, but a lot of times it does more harm than good, because what we're doing when we do that is we're kind of just following the next trend. We're following the next kind of overnight thing that might work today but doesn't work tomorrow. You think about in the investment world, you see stocks or crypto just they're flatlining and then boom, they just go up, and it's like we can chase those trends. If anybody's in crypto out there, you know what's been going on with Shiba Inu. It's like we can chase those trends or we can stick to the basics. It's up to you how you want to do it, but we can stick to the basics and we can have consistent success going up, maybe a little bit slower sometimes. But I just noticed that this week. And so I guess my lesson in all of that is to you guys is if you're out there and you're just trying a million different things that are complicated and confusing and you're feeling like you really just don't know what to do next, I would encourage you just to go back to the basics. When you have a t-shirt or apparel brand, I'm just kind of giving you some wisdom here, hopefully. Man, what it comes down to, good designs, right? Got to have good designs, nothing complicated. They can be basic, they can be, but just need to be emotional, make that emotional connection, be relevant, be funny, whatever. Just good designs, right? And then consistency in your marketing, right? Doing the basic things. Email marketing, it's basic. It should be pretty simple for you to send an email or two per week. Creating relationships with people. It's a pretty simple strategy. It doesn't need confusing Facebook ad tactics just to create relationships with people, offer your products in a direct message or connect with people. Things like that are very basic and not maybe not as fun sometimes, but will produce the results if you're consistent with them. Just go back to the basics. So anyways, that was a little bit of a rant. Might be a theme here throughout our sessions. Let's get to the first store today that we're going to review. The first store we've got is Christian Nerds Unite. Shop.christiannerdsunite.com. Store here from one of our people here in the Shirt School community. And I want to take a look at it. So this store here, I have looked at a couple times and so I'm somewhat familiar with. There's really not a lot going on this store. And I don't, there's not a lot of designs, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it's a very, very basic store. Okay. And the whole idea or premise of this store, there's a lot of things I like about this store. I really like the idea of combining the nerdiness or the techiness with being a Christian. I think that's a good lane to go in, right? Instead of just having the really generic Christian brand, you can combine a couple different things here, being a Christian and being kind of a techie or nerd type person. You combine those things together, and that's what you have here. So I like that part of it, and I like the simplicity of it. I would say here's what I would say is when I look at the designs here, number one, nothing's really sticking out to me. Everything very basic. Nothing is really like standing out as something that I would need to have in this niche or something that's really creating those emotions. I also think that some of these are never going to sell, like the Christian Nerds Unite shirt, which is more of a brand. You're trying to sell a branded t-shirt. Nobody cares about this brand, and nobody's probably going to care about the brand in general. They might care about the shirt you're selling, but this branded shirt will never sell. This thing like I'm blessed, although in one regard it's a little bit creative, putting the cross in there. It's way too generic and way too broad. It doesn't have anything to do with the nerdiness there. There's a couple other things here. May his grace be with you always. Although I understand playing off Star Wars and that kind of stuff, it doesn't really have anything to do with the techie kind of nerd side. I don't get the Martin Luther Nailed It shirt. I don't know if that has something to do with techiness or Christians. Transformed by Jesus. Again, I always kind of talk, we talk about Christian stores a lot, and I'm a Christian myself, okay? I've been at the same church for 20 plus years. I play in the band almost every single week. So I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. But I would never start a Christian brand personally unless I had a really strong message that I wanted to get out there and something that I knew would click with people. I think just the Christian niche in general, it can be so many things that aren't appealing to people, and it's very hard to succeed in unless you have something that really stands out, that's a really strong message. And a lot of times the brands that have success in the Christian niche, they're somewhat provocative. They have a message that's a little bit polarizing and a little bit on the edge. And so I don't think that this brand does any of those things. And like I said, as I said that I like the premise of it, of combining nerdiness with Christian, I don't think that this person has gone all in that in that realm. We've got like this shirt right here, rest in peace Pluto. I don't know what that has to do with being a Christian or a nerd. Even like this one, Jesus saves, so should you. And I get the reference to the floppy disk. I just don't think this is the way that we want to go about this niche. We want to find some designs that we are proven to sell. This is the way that I would go about this. If you're somebody who's creating a brand like this, and you need to really up level your designs, you need to go find some designs. They don't have to be in your niche, but find some designs that are already selling. Figure out how you can do similar designs and adapt those to your niche. Okay. So if I was this person, I would be going and looking at Christian brands that are proven to have sales. And I would also be looking at technology brands or nerdy brands that are proven to have sales. I'd be looking at their designs that are already selling, okay? And then figuring out how I can create similar designs that are combining the two. These, to me, look like mostly designs that probably just came up with out of your head. And although that can be a good thing, it's much easier to find designs that are already selling, take some inspiration from those, change them up a little bit, and create something that is much more likely to sell. Hopefully that's making sense. And somebody pointed out the Blues Brothers t-shirt. We've actually got the kind of pictures of the Blues Brothers here, which is a little bit risky. So overall, I'm not going to go much deeper on this store. Now we can take a quick look at the product page and see if anything's really sticking out to us on the product page. It's a pretty basic product page. We've got a product description. We don't have any reviews. We definitely need some reviews on this store if it's going to succeed. But overall, I just think although it's a good idea, it's not being executed in a great way. And that would be my biggest advice for this person, is that, I would almost scrap these designs. If you're going to do the Christian nerd thing, go all in on the Christian nerd thing. Don't do just these generic Christian t-shirts like I'm blessed. Here's what, guys, I've talked about this a lot, but when you create a product, let's just take this one. When you create a product like I'm blessed on a t-shirt, okay, you are automatically competing with thousands of other t-shirts that are exactly like this, almost the exact same thing. And what that creates is it creates usually a price war, and it's a race to the only way that you could compete with this t-shirt, if there's a million other t-shirts just like it, is by continuing to lower your price so that if people trying to find the lowest price, they'll find that you have the lowest price and buy them. Now that doesn't help you if you don't know anything about marketing, you can't get your t-shirt out there. But in theory, if you were selling a t-shirt or any product, the exact same product as a bunch of other companies, and you were able to market it correctly, the only way that you could win is by either being the cheapest or offering way more value. This t-shirt, I don't think does any of those things we just talked about. And if I were to go out here to Google just real quick and search "I'm blessed t-shirt," okay, what we're probably going to find is we're probably going to find a million of these. Okay, so if we go to "I'm blessed" right here, you're going to see, oh, we can find the exact same t-shirt, right? Yeah, just a quick Google search shows a bunch of them. So we're going to find the exact same t-shirt. Now, some of these are a little bit better because like this one right here is appealing more to women, right? It's not as generic. And these are the exact same design. And so I get what this person's trying to do in trying to find a design that looks like to be already selling and doing something almost the same, right? But that's just copying. That's not a good way to have success. That's literally just copying. I'm not dogging on this person. I understand. Okay, that's just copying though, right? What we would want to do is take this design and then maybe find another design that's trending, that's something different, and maybe see if we could do it that way. But in general, this design is just very generic. Even something like this right here is more appealing to me just because it's not as generic. I still personally wouldn't sell that design. But again, there's a million of these, and I think it's going to be very, very hard to have any success with that design. And like I said, it's a generic Christian design, right? It's just a Christian design. If we're going to be a Christian nerd store, let's focus on doing the Christian nerd thing, because chances are there's not very many stores doing that. If we try to search for that, maybe Christian nerd t-shirt, there might be some, but we're probably not going to find as many as we just did. So yeah, I mean, maybe a few. Like this is really interesting, kind of a coding deal with the armor of God there. I mean, but really there's not, like this one, praying with Wi-Fi. But you got to really kind of search to find 100% Jesus nerd. Like these, in my opinion, are all probably much better. Okay, kind of playing off the IBM thing. That's pretty cool, right? All of these have a much better chance to succeed than the ones we're seeing on the website. So, and there's not much here is my point, is that if we go and search just Christian shirts or just nerd shirts, we're going to find a bajillion of them. But searching this niche, we're not finding as many, and that's probably a good thing, right? Not as much competition, but it's just not being executed correctly. So that's kind of my thought on this store. Even though we're saying we're Christian nerds, we really only have one, maybe two designs that really speak to that, and the designs they're not standing out, and they don't have a strong message. So anyways, I'll leave it there. I could kind of ramble on about that for a while, but I'm gonna leave it there. So let's move on to our second store today. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Should we do a successful store next, or should we do another student or community store? What do you guys think we should do? I'll take a quick drink of water while you guys are putting that in the comments. You want to see success or community? Put one of those in the comments, and that's where we'll go next. But guys, one of the things we talk about while you guys are doing that, just real quick, is that emotional connection that you need people to feel to your designs, right? If people are not getting an immediate connection to your design, that means a laugh, that means a cry, that means they get excited, or they get angry, or they're not feeling something right away, that design is probably not going to sell, okay? And so you have to put your design through that filter. That doesn't mean that every design has to be a home run. But when you're creating designs, you've got to create designs that really create that emotion and that connection right away. Okay? So you should be able to feel that to some degree for yourself, right? You should be able to look for proof of that out on the internet. You should be able to run those across a few people, a design, and see what they think, right? But you need that emotional connection immediately. And I didn't see that on that store. I didn't see that in those designs. That's a really, really big thing. All right, so let me look here. We got student store, 1 vote, success, 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 student, student, success, success. I think we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both, but I think we'll go successful store next. I think we got a few more votes on the successful store. All right, so the next store, again, we're kind of going back to basics, right? We're going back to basics. Is kind of the theme of today. Keeping it simple, going back to basics. So this next store I really, really like. It is so simple. It's just such a stupid simple store, but the designs are so good. So if you're ready, here we go. This is ClassicDad.com. Now, one of the reasons I may love this store is because I'm a dad and a pretty simple guy. I also love grilling. I love doing dad things. I've fully embraced the dad life. I got a almost 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and so I love these shirts. So what this store is, let's talk about it a little bit. ClassicDad.co, if you want to go check it out. .co. What this store is, right? It's a dad store, but it's just stuff about dads. But what I love about this store, which really is something that we teach here at Shirt School, is it's a dad store, but it's all kinds of different things, different funny niches and different funny things combined with dads on the t-shirt, right? So you're appealing to dads, but then you've got grilling and having a drink and chilling on a t-shirt. You've got, you're combining police along with a joke, being thermostat police, right? You've got lawn whisperer, so dads that really care about their lawn. So you're combining some niches, and this is a really good store and really good designs. Social distancing before it was cool. I'm not sleeping, I'm just resting my eyes. This is all things that dad, like Blade of Glory. So all this stuff is really great. It's all the things that are funny to dads, right? I drink and grill things. That's what I do. Just fix it. All these kind of dadisms that I just really love. Again, barbecue and dads, combining those things. Just lots of good stuff. And it's nothing really complicated on here. They're very basic designs, but this store does really, really well and crushes it. And we could go through here and see what else they've got. We got top sellers, which we kind of just looked at. We got shirts, tanks, guns out, puns out. Oh man, I love it. Grilling, we got lawn care. It's all for dads, so you don't need a ton of different things on here. They've got good tees for dads, dadisms, and our about page. So what I love about this store, again, you might be looking at this and you're like, how is this store successful, right? It doesn't take a lot, guys. Again, just to kind of recap, we've got our color scheme here. It's just green and white. There's not a bunch of fanciness. It's just good designs. They make people laugh, right? Instantly you get a reaction with these designs. It just make you laugh, right? Everybody knows a dad that's like that. And some of the pictures, like look at this guy, the lawn whisperer. I mean, it's just classic dad. I can't even describe it a different way. But this is the kind of stuff that I really want to see more of you guys going for. These kind of things that are just, it's so simple, right? This doesn't, any one of us could put together this store in one day, right? There's not a lot of complicated stuff. And so it really, again, it goes back to basics. What do you need to have a successful store? There's some basic things, right? You need designs that cause those emotions. They don't have to be complicated. These are just text on a t-shirt for the most part, but they really get that instant emotion, right? Very basic designs, but they're really impactful, right? They're impactful designs. The website, although very simple, it's good simple, right? I'm not going to get confused on anything. The color scheme's very simple. They got a solid logo. It's laid out well. I mean, there's nothing deterring me from buying here. It's really good, right? Just very basic Shopify store, probably a free theme, nothing complicated, right? So do you need a fancy store to have success? No. Do you need a professional looking store? Yes. And I would argue that this store looks professional. I don't get a spammy vibe here, right? Because it's simple, but it's laid out well, it's professional looking, but again, it's nothing complicated. So if we click on one of these, let's take a look at the product page. Nothing crazy on the product page, but again, we do have some social proof because we've got some pictures of people wearing the t-shirts. We've got a thought out product description. Again, nothing too complicated. No customer reviews, right? If they put some customer reviews, they'd probably even do a lot better. But again, not a lot of options, right? We always say keep it 3 to 5 options. They've got a dude wearing it. They've got some pictures on their website. Nothing complicated. But they've got a good marketing strategy, right? They've got really good designs. These guys run advertising. They do the email marketing thing. They do all the things, right, to have success. But what does it come back to at the end of the day? It comes back to good designs, and are you able to get those in front of the right people? If they can get these t-shirts in front of dads, they're going to continue to have success because these are funny to dads. They're funny to moms too because they can relate to having their husbands are, just like this stuff. So I wanted to show this store because I think a lot of times we do show these stores that you feel like it'd be really hard for you to get to that point. This is something you could create in a day or two. And if you could get it in front of the right people with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or however you can get it in front of people, this is stuff that can sell. So that's our second store of the day, classicdad.co if you want to check that out. Nothing fancy, right? Very, very simple, but it's impactful because they have those emotional designs, a clean website, and a good marketing strategy. All right, guys, it is time today for Words of Wisdom. Well, I say it's a pretty basic words of wisdom today, but it's actually maybe not. I don't know what I'm trying to say by that, but I'll put the words of wisdom on the screen, and again, it kind of goes along with what we're talking about today. I might be able to kind of spin it in that way. And let's just talk about it. 99.9% of what we think is real is actually just a belief. Whew, let that sink in. 99.9% of what we think is real is actually just a belief. I really, really relate to this quote, and I'll tell you where I heard it. I don't know who to attribute it to, but where I heard it was at a mastermind in San Diego before the pandemic. In the mastermind that I was in, one of the speakers said this, 99.9% of what we think is real is actually just a belief. And this was kind of the beginning of a long journey for me that I'm still on today, of really breaking down the beliefs, the false beliefs that I have about success, about business, about where my lids are, and so many things. And guys, if you're watching this right now, chances are the lids that you have in your life that you're trying to break through, that you're like, I want to get that success, I want to get that store, selling, I want to make that money, I want to have that freedom. It all comes back to some kind of belief that you have about something, a false belief that you can't break through, that you can't get to that level. And it's probably tied back to something that happened in your past that is creating that wall or that ceiling. And the quicker that you can identify what that thing is, the quicker that you can break through it to the success that you want. And one more thing to add to this, and then we'll kind of move on. But, I kind of relate this back to, thinking about what people think about you. Let's say that something that just being vulnerable is something for me is weight loss and the weight that you're at. If you feel like you're overweight and you go to Walmart, a lot of times, you feel like you're out of shape, even just out of shape. You kind of feel like everybody's looking at you because you know that you're not in the shape that you want to be in. And it feels like, oh my gosh, everybody's staring at me because I'm 10 pounds heavier than I usually am, or whatever it is. But the reality is nobody cares. No, like nobody is thinking that. Nobody cares about that, right? I think about it at church. Like I go to church, and when things are happening in my life, I always think, oh my gosh, people are judging me. People are looking at me, right? But is that real, or is that just a belief? And 99.9% of the time, it's just a belief that we have, but it's not the reality. And you can go back to so many things in your life. You go back to business. You take it back to business. Define success, guys. What is success to you? Well, we often define success based off of what other people think success is, but that's not actually what success is. Success is whatever it is for you. Success in business is what it is for you. For some of you guys, success is $1,000 in profit per month. For some of you guys, success is $30,000 in profit per month, or whatever that may be. Stop basing your beliefs off of what is success to other people. Is success being Mark Zuckerberg and being a billionaire? or being Elon Musk? Like, is that success to you? Because that might not actually be success, right? That's just a belief you have created based off of what you've seen from other people. And so, anyways, I'm getting kind of off here, but I just think, again, 99.9% of the time, what you think is reality is not reality. It's just something you've made up in your head, right? It's something a belief that you have created. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody. It's something I struggle with every day. Being completely honest with you, it's something that the things that are in my head, I have to fight every day. No matter what success you see from me, I'm struggling all the time. Even though I'm having success, I'm also always fighting what is success and what level do I actually feel successful and am I content at. So let's move on to our third store. That was a weird feeling, words of wisdom. I don't know why. Just felt kind of weird today. Maybe because it really hit home for me where I'm at right now. It just hit home. Let's move on to our third store today. So our third store is another community member here, and I have some thoughts about this store. This store is CreatureAsana.com. Again, this is very much related to the first store. Very kind of similar idea here. They're taking this idea of combining niches and, they're taking this idea of combining niches and they've combined yoga and animals. And so they're combining these niches together to create this Creature Asana brand. And so again, I really like the premise of and the idea of this store, yoga and animals. But I don't love the execution. Okay. So again, we're kind of going there just like we did on the first store. So we go here now. I did want to point out this typo too. There was an S here on apparels, but it just needs to be apparel. So let's click on that and see what we got. So we got Squid Game dog costume. That's interesting. We've got all of these designs that are all very similar. Okay. And so this one right here I thought was interesting because it didn't have anything to do with creature or with pets. So again, guys, if you're going to go all in on the combined, if your whole store is going to be yoga and animals, do yoga and animals. Like, don't just do yoga, okay? It's that kind of creates this identity crisis, and it just doesn't totally make sense, right? Because the whole brand is focused around animals as well. So there's some things that are out of place here. So as you see, here's what I noticed as I went through this store. I noticed that, everything was kind of based around this design, different animals in there, right? And I think it's really funny. I think it's a really funny idea, right? This kind of downward dog or, cat and that kind of thing. I think downward dog's probably the best one. Here's what I think though, again, is the design is just not executed super well. So a couple things, like I'm going to go to the basic design and we'll look at it, which is probably something like this, right? I'm looking at the design and it just does not pop. It doesn't create emotion. Although it's kind of funny, I think that like the wording that we've got, like extended puppy pose and the whole layout and everything, I think it could just be a lot better executed. And even the wording, like if we instead of saying something like this, if we had, and that's going to be a really bad example, but if we had something more that was like, that just said, that just said downward dog really, really big. Because I know that's like the pose we're going for here, right? And just had this funny picture of the dog doing downward dog on a yoga mat. Like that would probably work a lot better than this kind of wording. I'm not into yoga, obviously, so I don't really know what Uttana I don't know. But I think it feels like we're trying just a little bit too hard, and it could be a lot simpler, right? Off the top of my head, I'm not coming up with, again, I don't have a dog and I don't do yoga, but I feel like the wording, like we could put something like funny words on this t-shirt with this image. And I think it would be a lot more attractive than what we've got here, because again, we just got this like basic font and the words are almost just stating what this is instead of kind of saying something funny that would connect with the audience, right? Because this is really funny. It's a really funny idea, but the execution of it makes it not as appealing, right? So like, I don't think we need to put pose on here. Like, we could just remove pose, put downward dog. I think that would even just be better, right, than what we've got here. So again, it's a good idea, but we need a better execution of it. And the design just need maybe a little bit more thought. We got to think about, again, what is already selling? Like, are there some yoga t-shirts that are selling really well that we could maybe get some ideas from, right? Funny yoga t-shirts. I mean, let's see what we find out if we go and just kind of look on here. But is there some ideas maybe that we could adapt? Like, okay, so namaste, right? That's a kind of a common thing that you see on yoga t-shirts. What if we just had the dog doing the the dog pose doing the downward dog, and we just put namaste on it? Now, I might be totally off base, but that might be better, right? That might perform better than what we've got here. Even just replacing these on some of these better t-shirts, just putting the dog in there, I think is funny, right? Because a dog doing yoga is just funny, right? So anyways, that's kind of my point on there. Let's take a look at the product page again, and let's kind of see what we've got on the product page. All the normal things that we look at. Okay, so we've got a very generic product description. This looks like it's just brought over from the print on demand. So we want to have those custom product descriptions. Okay, this is really odd here. We've got a really big Google Pay button, but a really small and out of place add to cart button. In theory, we would want a big add to cart button and probably just get rid of the, best case scenario, we want a big add to cart button, and we probably want to get rid of the Google Pay button, right? And just have one big add to cart button there. Nothing too odd there. We got a few colors, nothing too crazy. We don't really have any social proof. I don't know that I've seen any social proof on the whole website. Could be wrong. There might be a few here at the bottom. That might be one. I don't think so. I think that's just a quote from somebody. So I don't see any social proof. That's a huge one here, right? No social proof on a brand like this is not going to do you any favors, right? If you're going to have these designs that, again, maybe aren't as appealing right off the bat, they take a little bit more thought, or somebody really has to be into this dog yoga thing, you're going to need a lot of really good reviews to go along with that. So just a thought. Somebody said just a thought, but they could be maybe more funny, or they could be made more funny by using more realistic looking animals doing the poses. T-Bucket T says one of the best ones was the always positive one. Yeah, I think the always positive is something that could be yoga related a little bit. It's maybe not, but it's a little bit yoga related, and it's something that would kind of click with yoga people. Or maybe goats, as goat yoga is very popular right now. There you go, giving you some ideas. So again, guys, it's kind of the execution of everything. Okay, somebody said this, and I need to go over this. Would you mind going over the steps needed to submit our store for review, please? Okay, so this question's got asked all the time. So here's the thing. I have like hundreds of stores to review, but I know that have been submitted, but I know that more people want to submit their stores. Now, what I did first for these live streams is I put out a post in our VIP group just for our students and got a bunch of their stores. And then I have received a ton of stores through email and all this kind of stuff. So here's what I'm going to say to you guys. We don't have a formal process to submit stores because the response was so huge when we initially did this that I just have like a ton of stores to review. So here's what I say. If you want to submit your store for review, if you want me to put you on the list, here's what I'm going to have you do. My customer service team is going to hate me for this, but that's okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to shoot us a quick email with your URL, and I'm going to put all of those on the list at the end of today, okay? So send us an email to support@shirtschool.com and say, put the subject line, I'd like to be my store to be reviewed on Shirt School Live, and I'll add you to the list, okay? And just include your URL to your store in the email. So just put in the subject line, I'd like a store review. Put your URL in the body there. I can't guarantee, number one, that your store will be reviewed, and I can't guarantee that it will be reviewed anytime soon. So I just want to put that out there. I will add you to the list for sure, but it could be months before we actually get to your store because we've got so many on the list right now. So, but feel free to send that email over. I will absolutely happily add you to the list, and we will do a store review. So, I have some more one-on-one calls to do today with our accelerator students. So I am going to go ahead and sign off for today. I would like to encourage you guys. I did want to go over this really quickly. If you guys are still getting your Shopify print-on-demand store up and you would like a little bit of help with that, if you go over to shirtschool.com/cheat sheet and put that in the middle of the screen right now, and I'm going to actually make that. We have a free cheat sheet that you can get at shirtschool.com/cheat sheet. This is a very bad sell on this cheat sheet right now, but it's a 13-step cheat sheet. It's completely free, and what it is, it's a Shopify print-on-demand cheat sheet. So it'll help you get your Shopify store set up. It's also got some tools and links in there that we recommend here at Shirt School that you can use. And so if you go to that link, put in your email, you can download a free Shopify cheat sheet, and it's just a free resource that I wanted to give to you guys today for joining this live stream. So feel free to go over there and get that. Shoot us an email, support@shirtschool.com, if you'd like your store to be reviewed. You guys, we will be back next Friday. Then we will not be here the next Friday. So you guys have a great week. Thank you for hanging out with us today.